There comes a moment in your life when comfort no longer feels aligned. Today, we're talking about what it really looks like to leave the expected and build something that reflects who you were created to be.
Your dream be small and your grind be big. Because if your grind is big, you can have, you can do, and you can be whatever you want to be.
Welcome to Let's Start With You, where the person in the mirror is responsible for their. I'm Pam Bhullar, and I understand what it means to outgrow something you're comfortable in. Today, I'm joined by my beautiful friend, Tye, someone who made that leap. Welcome, Tye.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
So welcome. I love having you here. I have been looking forward to this conversation. So make sure you all stay till the end with us because we have something very exciting to share with you all. Tye, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into business.
Okay, so I am Tye Clarke, CEO and founder of Maiden Beauty and Maiden Creative, a branding agency. I'm a mom of two. I have two amazing souls. I am a go-getter, very ambitious. I'm a bit of a jokester. I was told I was funny. And I love the journey that God is leading me on. It took a while to get here, but I must say I am super duper blessed.
Amazing.
Yes.
So thank you for blessing us with your presence today.
Thank you so much for having me, Kat.
Tye, you were in the corporate world.
Yes.
You did your 9 to 5, your typical, you had the security. What made you realize that your corporate wasn't your forever?
I felt for a very long time being the corporate space that I was in a box. I didn't, it's almost like you become a machine. You wake up, drop the kids to daycare, go on the train, do your work, emails, colleagues, clock out at 5, every single day was the same. And it was during the pandemic where it forced us all to be still. We then pretty much transitioned over to virtual.
Right.
We had the Zoom calls. I'm sure everybody did the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And at that moment, again, going back to it forced us all to be still. I was really looking at my life where I was. Is this all that life had to offer? So I went for a very difficult time during that transition. It forced me to think about things that I was kind of putting under the rug. I didn't ever think about being an entrepreneur. It's a bit scary. I've heard horror stories of, folks, losing so much just to have that freedom and then going back to the corporate life.
Yeah.
So it was scary, but I knew there was more. And I battled with it. I struggled with it. And then I feel like God put me in a position where it's like, okay, well, you don't have a choice. And so that's where my entrepreneur journey began by literally, instead of me staying comfortable, I was forced oh yeah, God said, okay, enough.
And so what did you step into then?
So I was home, everybody was home. And again, everybody was getting the entrepreneur buzz, like everybody was starting a business online. And I said, I wanted to always start a business, but I didn't know what that would look like. And again, having a branding background, I've worked with a marketing agency for about 15 years of my career. So I understood about consumer perceptions and all that good stuff. So then I said, you know what? Let me start my business based on something that I actually love. And I started Maiden Beauty, which is sleepwear. And everybody was home at the time. Everybody was, wearing pajamas. So I started, I thought I was going to sell like at least one robe.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, we we're still here and we love making women feel good at home.
So you stepped from building comfort for women,
Yes.
during this pandemic time, and then you stepped into another business.
Yes.
You have your Maiden Beauty, but then you have your other business where you are building brands for businesses. And tell us about this one.
Yeah, so Maiden Creative actually was birthed from Maiden Beauty because I did my website myself and I was on social media to the point where folks were DMing me, "Oh my God, who does your branding?
Right.
Who does your marketing? Who does your website? Who did this?" And I said, I did it all. Just because of my background, I was able to leverage a lot of that skill sets in my business. And then I started helping a couple of friends here and there with their social media, with their branding. And I'm like, maybe I can make some money on this on the side as well. So then I started Maiden Creative Branding Agency, all birthed from Maiden Beauty. So I was able to leverage and funny, a lot of keynote speakers that I follow, even my former CEO, my boss and very, very dear friend always says, always leverage what you already have. So if it's me starting a sleepwear brand, but I'm able to leverage that success onto our next business, that's how you plant seeds and that's how it grows. So I had Maiden Beauty Sleepwear and I had Maiden Creative Branding Agency.
That's called compound, guys.
Yes.
Compound, a compound effort.
Yeah.
Or leveraging
Yes.
to the T right there.
To the T.
And tell me about Maiden. How does Maiden come? Because it's Maiden Beauty and Maiden Creative.
Yeah, absolutely. So Maiden, the name is actually my son and my daughter's name. They actually made up the name.
Oh, beautiful.
So my daughter's name is Maya, and then there's Jaden. So we put the two together, Maiden. And I love the name. It's very unique. It means so much to me because this is the legacy that I'm trying to leave for my children. You know, I always say to my daughter, I want you to manage Maiden Beauty. And I already work with my son anyways, and he's going to manage Maiden Creative, you know? So it's everything I try to do is intentional because again, I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm planting seeds for my family.
Amazing. And I love that because you know what? I'm such a wordplay person. Like I catch a word and I'm like, oh, but it also symbolizes this. So yes, you did the Maya and the Jaden and you put them together, but it also says made, like you made this happen and Maiden came out. That's amazing. What made you realize that stepping into your own business and what helped you surpass this fear? You know, people get scared. So what scared you the most when you were leaving Fort Brett?
What scared me the most, and to be transparent, was the financial stability. I mean, obviously, I was just comfortable. You know, I was getting a salary and I knew what it was going to be every time I got paid. There was no inconsistency. It was steady. You know, that's the biggest fear a lot of folks before they step into entrepreneurship. Like, you know, you have bills to pay, income. So I always say, like, and again, going back to a couple of conferences that I've done in the past, is don't leave your full-time job right away. At least use it to provide some form of income for your actual dreams. Let your 9-to-5 fund your dreams, right? So I knew I was going to eventually, you know, part ways with my firm. However, I was already planning ahead. I kind of put a little bit of bucket room, you know, a buffer room financially for myself because y'all, starting a business is not cheap. I'm self-funded. I funded every dime that has gone to my business. I've never gotten a grant, a loan, or anything. It's all me. So you just have to be strategic and you have to plan towards entrepreneurship. Would I say jump into it right away and give up No, absolutely not. But how can you strategically use your 9-to-5 to fund your business or fund your dreams?
You know, that is so powerful. And that's powerful advice. You know, you don't have to just be one or the other.
Yeah.
You can graduate to what you want to build. And it's powerful because So many people stay in a place where they've outgrown, but they're scared to take the leap, take the plunge. What shifted in you that made you want to create something so personal?
Because I can relate to it, right? I know, Maiden Beauty it encompasses self-care. It encompasses making women feel good at bedtime. We feel good right now, And I think wearing the many hats that we do, just having something as small as just feeling good at home in a nice satin robe, it makes you feel different. It makes you feel good. And that's what it's all about. And so for me, creating something that's personal, because I know how it affected me in the long run. I know what it's like to, have so many things going on in your life, the voices in your head, but trying to find a way to balance it all. And for me, self-care is a huge part of how I'm able to navigate the different hats that I have to wear. So again, before I even started Maiden Beauty, I had to really ask myself, I need to create something that I can relate to, because I speak on it. Like, I live this life.
Right.
People always ask me, do you go walk around your house? Like, yeah, I do. This is my life. When I have my quiet moments, this is what I enjoy. And it's so interesting how so many women have gravitated towards that. And it's almost like reminding ourselves that we should always take time out for ourselves. So yeah, you could, whatever you're trying to do, or like, it has to speak to you first. And I think that's how you can sell the most, when it actually speaks to you.
I love that, because you, in terms of when you create something, there's a selling aspect to it. So if you can speak to yourself, you can then easily speak to the other people that are selling to. You're selling, it's not even going to be selling, right? You're just talking.
You're being related.
You'll be relatable, yes. What does ownership look like when you're building something from scratch, especially when doubt creeps in?
Yeah. Ownership looks like, to me, is when you believe in whatever you're doing. That's ownership. That's how you believe in your product. You believe in your service. You believe it can either impact others. It helps you as a person to grow. That's what ownership is. And I stand by it. Period.
Hear that. No matter what,
Yeah.
if you believe, it is done.
It is done.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's where it has to start.
Absolutely.
Start from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to take this conversation onto the runway. Yes, we are hosting a fashion show, and not just showcasing clothing, but we are showcasing women stepping into visibility. Tye, tell everyone about the show. When is it? Where is it? When is that happening? And what is the concept? Let's start with the concept first. Yes, I think is very, very important.
Well, yeah. Well, huge shout out to Fania French. She is a powerhouse. Her cosmetic line is phenomenal. She was the official cosmetic line for Miss Universe Jamaica. So we're talking about a powerhouse. So when Fania French calls you and say, hey, I want you to be a part of this experience, you better say yes, okay? So she and I have developed an amazing relationship for many years. We've seen each other grow. So she called me up and said, hey, Tye, would you like to be a part of this runway show? The concept is amazing. It's showing makeup in such a different light, in creativity, and just making women feel not just beautiful, but you're experiencing something so new and so fresh. So y'all, it's going to be one of Toronto's most creative, most hottest runways. She has combined 6 amazing designers. Myself, you, Pam.
Yeah.
Gonna be, yeah?
I'm really nervous, excited. My line is going to be on the runway again after such a long time. So I'm nervous, excited.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much amazing designers, and it's going to be phenomenal. And it's happening on April the 26th, featuring Vivian, also Anne's Boutique, so much other amazing brands. We're going to be showcasing not just brands, but it's an experience. And it's something that I'm so excited to be a part of. Again, when Fania calls you, you answer. And I'm so glad to be part of it. There's going to be so much more information about the show, and get your tickets and all that good stuff.
So why don't you tell us where our listeners can go and find this information? Is there like a site or
Absolutely. So if you follow Fania French, you can go on her Instagram page. It's an Eventbrite. You can follow my page, Made in Beauty, your page as well. So it's all an Eventbrite. It's called This Is Makeup, happening on April the 26th. Again, 6 phenomenal designers will be showcasing their creativity in makeup and in fashion. And it's going to be phenomenal. So again, you'll hear about it. Like Toronto will definitely be buzzing about April 26th. This Is Makeup, brought to you by Fania French.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The venue is cool, super cool as well. So that's something to look forward to. We're not gonna spill all the beans. You have to come and see it. And yes, again, the show is called This Is Makeup. Tye, I want to speak about our robes that we're wearing. These are from her line, Made in Beauty. I love them. They come in various styles, but the feel, it's amazing. They are super, super luxurious here. So thank you for creating loungewear to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So guys, if you have been sitting on an idea, if you know you were meant for more, something bigger, let Tye and let this be a reminder. Start. Tye, what would you say to the person who knows in their heart that they're meant for something more but hasn't acted yet?
Before you act on it, search for it within you, because it does start with you.
Yes.
And when you find it, don't waste time. Act on it. Build on it. Pray about it. And go for it.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you for those amazing words. If you're local, we'd love to see you at the show. This Is Makeup. Get your tickets. Building something new, building something unique, just building something requires courage, but so does staying where you are, where you've outgrown. Both require courage. Tye, thank you for your honesty, for your courage, for building something that inspires others to take action. And to everyone else, growing, keep coming, keep showing up. If this resonated with you, follow the show. There's more. So the person in the mirror is responsible for building something new. Take action. Let's start with you.